The vanishing fleet. The great hall of the Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Kelrin of the Valerian Coalition stepped to the central platform. His silver skin reflected the light from 1,000 holographic displays that floated around the massive circular room. Representatives from 47 different species watched him with growing concern. Something terrible had happened, and everyone knew it. Kelrin's voice carried across the chamber with carefully controlled calm. 3 standard weeks ago, he began, the Draconian Empire launched its Grand Armada toward a system designated as Sol 3. The target was a young civilization that called themselves humans. The Draconians had classified them as a potential threat due to rapid technological advancement. The mission was simple: demonstrate overwhelming force and demand immediate submission. Murmurs rippled through the assembled delegates. The Draconians were known for such tactics. They had subjugated 17 civilizations in the past 2 centuries. Their military might was unquestioned. When they sent their Grand Armada, resistance was considered impossible. The Grand Armada consisted of 2,400 warships, Kelrin continued. 6 million Draconian soldiers, the largest military deployment in 300 years. They carried enough firepower to reduce an entire planetary system to dust. He paused and the silence grew heavy. The Armada never returned. Chaos erupted instantly. Representatives shouted questions. Some accused others of conspiracy. The Draconian delegation, led by Supreme Marshal Vorith, rose as one body. Their scales gleamed like polished obsidian, and their eyes burned with barely contained fury. Supreme Marshal Vorith's voice cut through the noise like a plasma blade. Explain this insult, he demanded. The Draconian Empire sent its finest warriors on a routine subjugation mission. You claim they simply vanished? This is impossible. Someone here knows the truth and they will speak it now. Elder Myria of the Lumineth people raised one glowing hand, and the chamber quieted. The Lumineth were ancient scholars, keepers of knowledge spanning millions of years. When Myria spoke, even the Draconians listened. We have examined all sensor data from our observation posts, Myria said in her gentle voice. The Grand Armada entered the Sol system as planned. They established standard formation around the 3rd planet, which the humans call Earth. She gestured, and a holographic display materialized showing a blue-green world surrounded by red dots representing warships. The fleet maintained position for approximately 16 hours, Myria continued. They conducted standard scans and prepared for their demonstration of force. Then, without warning, every single ship stopped transmitting. Simultaneously, the holographic display flickered, and when it cleared, all the red dots had vanished. The planet Earth remained peaceful and undamaged. Our sensors detected no weapons fire, Myria said. No explosions, no energy signatures, no debris fields. The ships simply ceased to exist as if they had never been there at all. We have confirmed this data with 3 separate observation stations. The result is the same. The Grand Armada has vanished without a trace. Supreme Marshal Vorith slammed his massive fist against his station's railing. The sound echoed like thunder. Impossible, he roared. You speak of events that defy the laws of physics. No primitive species possesses technology to destroy our fleet without leaving evidence. Someone in this council is hiding something, and I will have answers. Ambassador Kelrin raised his hands in a calming gesture. No one is hiding anything, Supreme Marshal. That is precisely why we have called this emergency session. We need to investigate what happened. We need a team that can approach Earth, make contact, and discover the truth. Commander Thrace of the Valerian Strategic Intelligence stood from her section. She was smaller than most delegates, but her reputation preceded her. She had solved mysteries that had baffled the Council for decades. When Thrace investigated something, she found answers. I volunteer to lead this investigation, Thrace said. Give me a small research vessel and a capable team. I will go to Earth, establish contact with these humans, and learn what happened to the Draconian fleet. I will bring back the truth, whatever it may be. Elder Myria nodded slowly. The Lumineth will send Scholar Myria, my granddaughter. She has studied human civilization for 30 years. Her knowledge will be invaluable. A young Lumineth woman stood in the scholar section. Her glow was bright blue, indicating youth and curiosity. She bowed respectfully toward the assembly. Supreme Marshal Vorith studied them both with cold calculation. His species did not trust easily, especially not when Draconian blood had been spilled. Very well, he said finally. But the Draconian Empire will not allow outsiders alone to investigate this matter. War Captain Drax will accompany your team. He will represent Draconian interests and ensure that nothing is concealed from us. A Draconian officer stood from the military section. War Captain Drax was older than most of his kind. Gray streaked his dark scales and scars marked his armor. He had fought in 50 campaigns and survived battles that would have destroyed lesser warriors. His eyes held the hard wisdom of someone who had seen too much death. "I accept this assignment," Drax said in a voice like grinding stone. "I will find what happened to our warriors. If treachery has occurred, those responsible will face draconian justice." The 3 investigators departed within hours aboard a Valerian research vessel called the Silent Witness. It was fast and equipped with the most advanced sensors in the galaxy, designed for scientific exploration rather than combat. As they traveled toward the Sol system, Scholar Miria shared everything she had learned about humanity. She showed them images of Earth's cities, recordings of human art and music, translations of their literature. "They are a young species," Miria explained, "barely 3,000 years of recorded civilization. They only developed space travel 200 years ago. By our standards, they should be primitive, vulnerable, easy to dominate. Then how did they destroy our fleet?" Drax demanded. His mechanical eye replacing one lost in battle, word as it focused on the data. "That is what we must discover," Commander Thrace said quietly. "Because if humanity possesses weapons capable of eliminating the Grand Armada without a trace, then everything we thought we knew about this galaxy has just changed." The Silent Witness dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Sol system. Immediately, their sensors swept the area searching for any sign of the Draconian fleet. They found nothing. No wreckage, no bodies, no residual energy. The system was clean. But they did find something else. Earth orbit was filled with activity. Space stations, satellites, and civilian vessels moved about their business. Radio and digital transmissions filled the electromagnetic spectrum. The humans were not hiding. They were not afraid. They were simply living their lives as if nothing had happened. "We are being hailed," Miria announced with surprise. "It is a human transmission. They are welcoming us to their system and asking us to identify ourselves." The 3 investigators exchanged glances. They had expected many things. A dead world. A battlefield. Hostility. They had not expected a polite welcome. "Respond," Thrace ordered. "Tell them we are a Galactic Council investigation team here to inquire about recent events." The response came within seconds. "Council investigators, this is Earth Traffic Control. We have been expecting you. Please proceed to Geneva Orbital Station. Representatives of the United Earth Government will meet you upon arrival. We look forward to productive discussions." "They have been expecting us," Drax repeated slowly. The implications were disturbing. "It seems," Thrace said, "that humanity has been waiting for this conversation for a very long time." The Architect's legacy. The Silent Witness docked smoothly at Geneva Orbital Station. Through the viewport, Commander Thrace watched Earth rotate slowly beneath them. The planet was beautiful, covered in blue oceans and green land masses with white clouds drifting peacefully across its surface. Cities glowed on the night side like jewels scattered across dark fabric. It looked vulnerable, defenseless, completely incapable of threatening anyone. Yet somewhere in this system, 2,400 Draconian warships and 6 million soldiers had simply disappeared. A human woman met them at the airlock. She was tall with dark skin and silver-streaked hair pulled back in a professional style. Her eyes were sharp and intelligent, missing nothing as she studied the 3 alien visitors. She wore a simple gray uniform with a badge that identified her as Coordinator Elena Vasquez of Earth's Planetary Defense Initiative. "Welcome to Earth," she said in flawless galactic common. Her accent was strange but understandable. "I am Coordinator Vasquez. Thank you for coming peacefully. We appreciate the opportunity for dialogue." War Captain Drax stepped forward, towering over the human woman. His scales gleamed under the station's lights, and his mechanical eye focused on her with predatory intensity. "Where is our fleet?" he demanded. "What happened to 6 million Draconian warriors?" Elena did not flinch. She met his gaze without fear, without hesitation. "Your fleet came to our world with hostile intent, Captain. They surrounded our planet with weapons charged and prepared to fire. They broadcast demands for our immediate and total surrender." She paused. "We defended ourselves." "With what?" Drax growled. "Our sensors detected no weapons, no defenses, no military presence of any kind. You cannot destroy the Grand Armada with wishes and hope." Elena smiled slightly. It was not a cruel expression, but it held secrets. "You are correct, Captain. We did not destroy your fleet. We simply removed it from this reality." The 3 investigators stared at her. Scholar Miria's glow flickered with confusion. "Removed it? What does that mean?" Perhaps it would be better if I showed you, Elena said. Please follow me. Director Chin is waiting at our research facility. He can explain our history and capabilities better than I can. They followed Elena through the station and then down to Earth's surface in a transport shuttle. The journey took them over vast oceans and mountain ranges before descending toward a city built around a beautiful lake surrounded by snow-capped peaks. Geneva, Elena explained, has been the center of international cooperation for over 400 years. It is fitting that it now serves as the heart of our planetary defense. The city below looked peaceful and prosperous. People walked through parks and streets without urgency. Children played near fountains. There were no visible weapons, no soldiers, no fortifications of any kind. Commander Thrace found it deeply unsettling. These people should be terrified. They had just faced an invasion force capable of exterminating their entire species. They landed at a facility marked with the symbol of the United Earth Government. Inside, they were led through clean corridors with walls made of materials the investigators did not recognize. The technology was subtle but clearly advanced. The lighting was perfect, the gravity flawlessly calibrated, the air quality precisely controlled. An elderly human man waited for them in a large conference room. He had white hair and kind eyes behind old-fashioned glasses. He stood as they entered and bowed slightly in greeting. "Welcome," he said warmly. "I am Dr. Marcus Chin, Director of Historical Archives and Xenoarchaeological Research. I understand you have questions about recent events. Please sit. I will tell you a story that explains everything." They sat around a large table. Dr. Chin activated a holographic display that filled the center of the room with images and data. Humanity has existed on Earth for approximately 300,000 years, Dr. Chin began. For most of that time we lived simple lives as hunters and gatherers. Civilization as you would recognize it only began about 12,000 years ago. We developed agriculture, cities, writing, mathematics, science. He smiled. We thought we were alone in the universe, that Earth was unique, that we were the only intelligent species to ever exist. Scholar Miria leaned forward, her blue glow brightening with interest. What changed your perspective? In the year 2087, Dr. Chin continued, a human exploration team discovered something extraordinary on Titan, one of Saturn's moons. The holographic display shifted to show a massive moon with orange clouds and methane lakes. Deep beneath Titan's frozen surface, in caves carved millions of years ago, we found ruins. Ancient structures built by a species that visited our solar system long before humanity existed. The architects, Miria breathed. Her voice held reverence and wonder. Dr. Chin looked at her with surprise. You know of them? They are legend among my people, Miria said softly. Stories passed down through millions of years. An ancient race that seeded life across the galaxy and then vanished. We thought they were myths, stories told to explain the universe's mysteries. They were not myths, Dr. Chin said gently. They were real, and they left behind more than ruins. They left technology, information, warnings. Most importantly, they left behind a complete database of galactic history spanning 4 million years. The holographic display changed again, showing images of strange artifacts covered in alien writing, machines of incomprehensible purpose, and vast archives of data. We have spent the last 260 years studying what the architects left behind, Dr. Chin continued. Learning their language took 40 years. Understanding their technology took another century. But slowly, piece by piece, we learned the truth about the galaxy we live in. What truth? Commander Thrace asked quietly. She had a feeling she already knew the answer. Dr. Chen's expression grew sad. We learned that the galaxy is not a peaceful place. We learned that young civilizations are constantly evaluated by older ones. Those deemed too weak are ignored or enslaved. Those deemed too strong are eliminated before they can become rivals. The architects themselves were destroyed because they grew too powerful, too advanced. Other species formed a coalition and wiped them from existence. He gestured at the data surrounding them. The architects left their database as a warning to whoever came next. They wanted future civilizations to understand the dangers, to prepare, to survive where they had failed. So you hid your capabilities, Thrace said. You made yourselves appear primitive while secretly developing advanced technology. We had no choice, Elena said from where she stood by the wall. We watched the galaxy through the architect's observation systems. We saw how the Galactic Council operated. Any species showing rapid advancement was attacked, absorbed, or destroyed. The powerful do not tolerate competition. War Captain Drax had been silent, processing everything. Now he spoke, his voice rough with emotion. What did you do to our warriors? Where are they? Dr. Chin stood and walked to the window overlooking Geneva. Your fleet arrived with weapons charged and demands for surrender. We could not allow that. Humanity has the right to exist, to live freely on our own world. We will not submit to conquest. You still have not answered my question, Drax said. His claws scraped against the table. Dr. Chin turned to face them. The architects left behind technology you cannot imagine. One such device is a dimensional displacement system. It can open doorways to pocket dimensions, spaces outside normal reality. When your fleet refused to leave peacefully, we activated the system and transported all 2,400 ships into a contained dimensional space. Scholar Miria's glow flared bright with shock. You created a pocket universe and trapped them inside? The ships and all personnel remain intact and unharmed, Elena said quickly. They exist in a stable dimensional pocket with artificial gravity and life support provided by the architect's systems. We have been feeding them, providing medical care, maintaining communication. Not a single Draconian has been injured. Drax stood abruptly, his chair crashing backward. You hold 6 million of my people prisoner? We hold 6 million warriors who came to exterminate us, Elena corrected firmly. We could have destroyed them. The architect's weapons would have made it easy. Instead we chose mercy. We chose preservation of life, even the lives of those who came to kill us. Commander Thrace raised her hand, calming Drax. Why tell us this? Why reveal your capabilities? Because we want peace, Dr. Chin said simply. Humanity has no interest in conquest or empire. We want to live quietly on our world, to develop our civilization, to explore the universe at our own pace. But we will not be victims. We will not allow ourselves to be exterminated because some council decided we were inconvenient. He walked back to the table and placed both hands on its surface. We will return every Draconian warrior unharmed. All 2,400 ships will be restored to your empire intact. In exchange, we ask for one thing, a permanent peace treaty, recognition of Earth's sovereignty, an agreement that humanity will be left alone to live as we choose. The room fell silent. Outside the window, Earth continued its eternal rotation, beautiful and peaceful. Inside this room, the fate of billions hung in the balance. War Captain Drax sat down slowly. His mechanical eye whirred as he studied the humans before him. You could have killed us all, he said quietly. You had every right under our own laws. We came as conquerors. But we did not, Elena said. Because that is not who humanity is. Drax looked at Commander Thrace, then at Scholar Miria. Both nodded slowly. The decision was made. The Galactic Council will hear of this, Thrace said. They will know that humanity possesses technology beyond anything we imagined. They will know that Earth is not defenseless. Good, Dr. Chin said. Let them know. Let every species in the galaxy understand that humanity chooses peace, but we are prepared for war. We will defend ourselves if necessary, but we will always prefer dialogue. Scholar Miria's glow had softened to a gentle blue. The architects chose well, she said quietly. They left their legacy with a species that understands both strength and mercy. Perhaps humanity will